Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. So right now, I'm just kind of waiting for a couple of minutes. Anyway, we have a couple of guests on tonight. It's going to be a pretty cool show. Um, I just wanted to say a couple of things first before we get started. Just give me a minute. So tonight we're going to have a couple of investigators that I've worked with for quite a few years. So we're bringing the band back together. So it's going to be pretty fun. Um, but I'll introduce them here in a minute. So I just wanted to just address a couple of things first. Let me turn off my phone. My phone's blowing up. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Thought I had it off. So as you see, so Josh isn't going to be on the show tonight. So basically I don't know what's going to happen with Josh. He's always welcome back on the show. But right now he's, I guess, taking a break. And so I just wanted to address that. So if anybody, is wondering where's Josh, he won't be on. So, yeah, so there was a lot of things that happened on the Saturday show. So there was a lot of people just stirring the pot. So if anybody starts with any type of negative comments or anything like that, unfortunately, you'll be kicked. So that's basically what's going on. So there's a couple of moderators watching the podcast. So like I said, if anybody just starts commenting with negative comments or anything, people will be kicked. In this show, we just everything is it's like a family. So we just want to keep everything positive. So we're just going to keep it that way. And I'm just very grateful for everybody that has been supporting the show. It's an amazing group of people here. So anyway, so right now, Josh isn't being replaced with anybody or anything like that. But I do have a couple of people, that are willing to help me out on the show. So Lindsay's going to step in and help me out. And so, like I said, I mean, just doing the show by myself it's a little difficult, especially on the Saturday night show. Now that I'm running quite a bit of different things, and now that I have decided to rebuild the studio at the new location I'm at, so it's going to take me a little while. I'm going to go out and buy the new audio gear that I need for the show. And like I said, everything that I spend on the show, it all comes out of my pocket. So, I don't have any sponsors. I don't have anything. So it's all out of, my cost. I don't, I pay for internet. I pay for everything. So, but I don't mind doing that. And, I'm just trying to do everything for all the viewers, for you guys out there. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on Lindsay, and then we're going to bring on our guest. Like I said, I mean, it's going to be a pretty amazing show. Two of my buddies are working on the show, and their first episode aired, I believe it was last week. So we'll talk about that once I bring them on. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we have a couple of more shows happening this week. We're going to do the Friday night group show. So it's going to be more of a Zoom type of deal. And then we're going to do the normal Saturday show. So I'm working on trying to get a couple of new things working. can't make any promises yet, but it will be pretty cool if I get everything accomplished that I want to. So anyway, without further ado, let me bring on Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay, how you doing?
Hello.
Not much, just getting ready to
Hold
rock
on.
this thing.
I forgot. Sorry.
All right, that's all right.
All right. Hello, everybody.
So we're just gonna rock this thing, Lindsay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. You excited?
I know. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So Lindsay got to talk to the guys
concerning.
backstage a little bit, so it's gonna be fun for everybody. So
hello, everybody.
Yeah, so
I just want to say I'm not replacing anybody on this show. I just want to make that very clear. I'm just here to help Rob out. We're all just here to do the same thing. We're all here because we're interested in what Rob's doing. So let's just make his life a little easier and just enjoy being here and have fun and try to put the bullshit aside.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. I mean, yeah, I know that, I might have pissed a couple of people off this past weekend. I just got a lot of negative feedback, people talking crap. So I just had to stomp that out and then just block a few people. So, there's no need for, all of the, stirring the pot in the show. I mean, we're just all here on the same quest, trying to have fun and just having fun. That's what it's all about. And we're all here to learn the same thing. So, like I said, I mean, I know that I'm rambling a little bit, but, it just needed to be said. We're all adults here. So, anyway. Yeah. All right. So basically, tonight we're going to have two guests on. We're going to have Fidel de Haro and Eric Van Leer. I've been investigating with these two guys for, like I said, quite a few years now. We've had some amazing investigations together, had some pretty scary investigations. So, and the premise of the show, I'll let them get into that. It's along that line. So let me bring on both Fidel and Eric.
Yeah.
Eric is in his typical mobile, I guess, mode. He's always calling from a Starbucks or from his car in a dark alley somewhere after getting raped. After getting raped in Vegas, he's like bundled up in the car in the fetal position in the back seat.
Fetal position. Hey, there.
Typical Eric.
Well, Eric, where are you at?
Where are you calling from, Eric?
I am in my car in a parking lot.
See what I mean? Told you. I called it.
Are you in my parking lot? Because I seen a car right there just like stalking me. Is that you?
Is he stalking? He's stalking.
He's stalking me. Yeah, I was like, there's somebody in there, my parking lot. Like, it has a door.
No, but someone's stalking me. There's 100 parking spaces, and someone just parked right next to me. Kind of scary.
Maybe it's your buddy. He's gonna send the posse after you to gang rape you again.
They're gonna gang rape you.
Okay, he just left. There's a lot of shady people. This isn't a bad area, but there's a lot of shady people in the parking lot. Last week, I actually had to call the police because I don't know if someone was 390, which is LAPD code for drunk, or having a psychotic breakdown, but they were going in circles at the shopping mall, turning on their turn signal, and then going around and around. And I was staging here as press, listening to my scanner, and they must have been doing it for 20 minutes. So I said, screw that. I'm calling the cops. There's something wrong with this person.
Right. So, I know everybody's joking, but Eric has stories about what I'm telling is the truth. So we'll talk about that later. We'll move it towards the end of the show. Because I have another question that Mr. Poe probably wants me to ask on the air too. So I'll ask you that question later, Eric. So
Sorry.
anyway, moving on to why you guys are on this show. So can you guys tell us what you guys been working on?
Yeah, so we just did a show for Vice. I was the protagonist on the show, a reality show. Fidel was also on it, as was Paul. And the whole episode was about demon hunting. And as you know, Rob, I mean, I don't really do the paranormal a ton anymore, except for PPA.
Wait, who's playing music in the background? Eric, roll up your windows.
It's
I
not
think it's
me.
Eric.
Nope.
Eric's parked by Nicolas strip club right now.
There's no noise coming from my end.
I
hear
don't have
music.
anything.
It's probably
Sounds like a
mine.
party.
It's on my
I don't hear any music anywhere near me at all.
All right.
It's probably my TV. I'm watching those kind of movies right now.
That's what it is. Let's turn
Turn
down
down your TV if that's what it is.
I'm watching Disneyland Plus.
That's what it is. Blaming me for music when you're watching The Little Princess or
The little
The Little Mermaid or whatever.
Debbie.
No, so as you know, Rob, I do more. Well, I haven't done it since COVID, but I do more of the urban exploring, and I don't really do the paranormal except for creepy AF. But I would say, probably the last 7 or 8 years, we haven't done the cases where someone, wants to communicate with a deceased loved one. We've been doing murder, suicide, and demonic cases, and this show was basically about me. And like I said, got to put that disclaimer in. It is a reality show, but it was about me demon hunting and my quote unquote career coach mom, who wants me to do other things employment wise, as well as the paranormal. But Fidel and I went on a couple of investigations. We went back to a house in Lancaster that was absolutely crazy. And they captured it all on the episode. I was doing a cleansing of the home. And while I was cleaning the home, the demon, and I don't buy into that garbage of saying a demon's name. I've said a demon's name 100 times. But we were dealing with the demon Baal, who's a higher level demon. And when I was cleansing the home, the demon decided to hide and jump into the lady's body, the homeowner's body. So that was pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that house has a lot of stuff.
So what's the premise of the show?
The show is basically it's an hour-long show, so about 48 minutes with commercials, and it's basically about me going to let's turn off that TV, please.
Turn off your TV. It's
off.
All right, so well, we're getting some paranormal activity.
Right there, over there.
The show was basically a 48-minute show about me going demon hunting, and how my mom, who's a career coach, would like me to get a career other than doing side gigs and stringer type work, filming police and fire activity, an actual 9-to-5 job, which, as you know, isn't really my cup of tea. But in the episode, I also visit with a therapist, as is done in each episode of this show. And I do some career counseling with my mom. And then there's also some footage of myself and Fidel investigating 2 different locations.
Oh, wow. Hold on. This is for Kanga.
Did I piss you off?
Kanga was asking about my shirt.
Alexa.
Yeah, you did.
Hold on.
So I just want to say one thing about that. I am expanding my my horizons. I've been doing a lot of stuff for Insomniac, and I've also been doing some coverage for a PR company that covers celebrity events, like award shows and celebrity parties. So, I am branching out, and I just got to put a price tag on it eventually.
Right. So, Fidel, what did you do on the show?
Well, we did so much on the show, but I didn't show everything we did. We did a lot of work. It was very tiring. A lot of interviews. Me and Eric looking for demons, getting some really good hits on the spirit box. They cut a lot of it out, but we seen more. I wish they would have shown more. Even when we went to the backyard, remember, Eric?
Yeah.
That tree. There was a tree. Went outside in the backyard. There was a tree. I mean, if it was like something was in the tree mocking us, and we're like, trying to conjure demons and all that.
Right.
And you can hear something running in the tree. You can see stuff in the backyard. I have pictures of like, I don't know if they're demons or aliens, but they're like have big old red head, long like a Slender Man kind of thing with like a big red head.
Wow.
We seen the husband or the wife that was in the house, or the boyfriend. He got like possessed a couple of times, or had some kind of attachment, like some kind of oppression, should I say oppression. Remember that, Eric? He was like getting angry, like it was feeling, and then it transferred to Eric at the same time.
Yeah.
So like it seemed like real nice on the show, but the reality of the show, when we were like looking for demons and all that, it was way more intense.
And there was one of the I won't say who it was, but one of the above the line, for those who know the entertainment industry, one of the above the line crew members said that they captured an apparition on film that they put into the episode. I personally didn't see it, but if you see it, let Rob or me or Fidel know if you watch the episode and see the apparition. Apparently it was in the pantry of the homeowner's house.
Oh, really?
So what's the name of the show, and what channel or what network is it on?
Well, it's on Vice TV.
Yeah, it's on Vice TV. It's called In My Own World, and the episode is called Demon Hunters.
Yeah, at the time we filmed, they gave us a different name.
Yeah.
So we filmed, so we tried Googling it. I mean, we couldn't find it. Then they came out with In My Own World. And we watched the other episodes besides our own episode. Another one just came out. I don't know if they're vampires or what they were. I just seen it. But I really like our show, the way it came out and all that. Eric did a good job. And it's always good investigating with Eric. And especially all three of us. So you're like one of our top investigators that we investigate with.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah.
Like I said, we're putting the band is back together for this one podcast, but I was thinking that the three of us should go back out and do something soon. I need to get back out, at least to just do a couple of things. So we'll plan something here soon.
Yeah, it's been on my end. It's been slow. I think you're aware. I took my website down about 2 years ago now, probably.
Right.
I mean, somehow I still get hits. I actually have a message. I haven't looked at that. I have to check. I just saw that it said, I have a crazy case for you. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I haven't been taking residentials really. I haven't been doing much of anything. I know with Creepy AF Paranormal, we want to go do a location in San Diego, but for the three of us to go back out, that would be awesome. I mean, I know you and I, Rob, we did. Jason Bloom Variety Arts Theater, which was just crazy.
Fidel, your background's really loud.
My background, right?
Yeah.
All right. I have somebody over that side. Lower, keep it lower.
No, so the investigation that Eric was talking about. So, yeah, the producer Jason Bloom had us out to the Variety Arts Theater.
Hold on, you guys. Lower that all the way down. Sorry, I have
That's
visitors.
So, I mean, with that investigation there at Variety Arts, that was freaking crazy. I mean, we saw, 3 apparitions in 45 minutes?
Yeah, we weren't able to do any audio because they were working. They had a haunt going. But I mean, what we captured just with the naked eye and on camera was, more than enough.
Yeah. Well, and then when we were interviewing the girl in the backstage, where she was playing a fortune teller, and she got trapped inside the booth, and something was holding the door shut, and she saw that an apparition of a male holding the door shut, and then we were able to capture that same apparition. And Eric, explain to what happened with that apparition when it went down the hall, and what did it turn into?
Well, it manifested, and then it turned into an orb, and it flew really fast down the hallway and made a whistling sound. But the funny thing is I had gone through the haunt as media, and I think that was the first time. I believe that was the first time I went to Variety Arts Theater. They had done another haunt based, I believe, on The Purge later on, but that was the first time I had gone. And I just felt that building had so much energy. And then I talked to Jason, and you and I, before we even did the investigation, we went through the haunt once again.
Right.
And it was crazy, especially that part where they had it set up, like all the backstage storage stuff, like the props and stuff. Because it was all theatrical. It was based on like the theater itself. So they had a whole... I guess like kind of like a basement room with props, mirrors, mannequins.
Right.
And I mean, that room was just off the charts, just going through the haunt itself.
Right. So the Variety Arts Theater used to be used in the, I want to say the 20s and late 30s, or two of the late 30s, for vaudeville acts. So
yeah, it used to also be the E-Bell Club.
Right. So there's several stages. So there's a main stage, which is like a huge normal theater. And then there's actually 2 smaller theaters that would probably seat 100 people in each of them. The main theater probably seats about 500 to 600 people. And then the 2 smaller theaters seat about 100 and 150 people. But the theater itself is just gorgeous. And it's still closed to this day. They started doing renovations shortly after we investigated there. And it's been closed ever since. I know that Jason did 2 haunts there. And after they did the Purge events, that's when the theater closed, and then they started doing renovations, and it's been closed ever since.
Yeah.
What's up, Mom?
Yeah, Jason was really nice to get us in. I know sounds like a Super Bowl party over there.
Yeah, Fidel, it's still really loud.
Is it?
It's really loud.
Hold on, give me a minute. Can I mute this for a little bit?
Here, I'll turn down their volume.
Actually, I'll mute it until I speak because I have visitors.
I was
Hold
going to
on.
suggest that, but I didn't want to call the shot.
No, you can do it, Lindsay. It's all good.
I turned down the background on that, so
All right, good.
you should be all right.
Yeah, so Jason was really nice to let us in to investigate. I mean, I know a lot of people probably won't believe it, but for one night, I think to rent the place, it's something like $10,000.
No, it's 16,000. It's 16,000 for 8 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
because I talked to management shortly after that because I wanted to see if we can do a private investigation, and they told me it's 16,000 for 8 hours.
Jeez.
That's
But,
just insane.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny working with a big Hollywood director and producer. And Jason Blum, who, some of his productions are Insidious and The Purge. And so those are some of his productions. And he's like the most down to earth, nicest guy that you would ever meet. And he hosts some incredible parties.
I'm sure.
Well, Eric's been to a couple. I've been to one. It's a lot of fun. He's such a nice guy. But Lindsay, do you have any questions for them?
I don't. Do you want me to ask questions?
You can if you want.
I'm just listening. I'm just
okay.
Observing. No questions yet.
Right.
I have a question. Lindsay, have you seen the show?
What show?
The last show we did.
The Vice one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I don't have cable either.
You could just go online and just go to Vice TV.
Honestly, I didn't even know about it until Rob told me a few days ago. So I haven't had a chance to. I don't even know what was it called again?
In My Own World, Demon Hunters episode.
Okay. I'll check it out.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, just do that.
Unfortunately, I haven't watched it. I was going to watch it today, and I just got preoccupied doing other stuff. I'll watch it tomorrow, I promise.
No one's done their research.
I haven't done my research on it. I'll be the first to admit it.
I just found out about this today, so about the show. So I didn't know I was supposed to do research.
I had it on Hooters, on all the TVs at Hooters yesterday.
But that's a Fidel thing. You're always at Hooters.
When did it air? When did it first air? Yesterday?
Last week.
Oh, okay.
Last Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
The episode is actually really funny also.
Well, good. Throw a little humor in there.
Well, it's a little scary for me.
But Eric, I'm gonna bring something up since they're bringing up something scary to you. I'm going to talk about Hotel Garden Grove.
Okay.
So something happened to Eric. I was in the shower. I came out of the shower and I walked in and I was like, what the hell? It smells like sex in here.
Oh, and I've heard about this story.
Tell me what happened, Eric.
I was raped by the demon Lilith.
You got to go in a little bit more in depth.
Go into more detail. Come on.
Somehow, she took my semen. I guess somewhere
it went that far.
I guess somewhere in the universe, I have demonic offspring now.
Oh my!
But I mean, I'm very, I'm very connected to the spiritual world. I've probably been doing it too much, too long. I mean, even on the episode, we were getting my name called, which Rob knows if it doesn't happen 3 or 4 times in investigation, there's something wrong. I've been in pretty much every secret society. Rob and Fidel, see my post. I was wrong about the Super Bowl, but I did post a last-minute post. I said that there's a lot of riddles for Cincinnati, but at the last minute, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I said, we're being thrown a curveball. It looks like it might be the Rams now. So, I know how things are scripted. The Matrix is real. I probably have more knowledge about certain things than I want because a lot of events aren't the way they seem. I see the truth behind them. And the elite like to script things through gematria, which is like A = 1, B = 2. And it's kind of crazy how it's done, but somehow they just have this manifesto where everything's laid out. you know. So I have all this esoteric knowledge. I've learned a lot about different occults. I mean, I've been in everything from the Rosicrucians to OTO. I've done high magic. I've done sex magic. I've dealt with everything from, deceased relatives to demonic to even ancient aliens. So, it doesn't surprise me what happened at Hotel Garden Grove.
I guess the real question is what hasn't happened? What haven't you experienced?
What haven't I experienced?
Yeah. That's the real question. Because it sounds like you've done a lot.
Yeah, I've done a lot. I don't know. There's not a ton I haven't experienced. Hopefully I don't experience anything bad, knock on wood. There's no wood in my car.
You only have wood between your pants, between your legs.
Oh God.
I don't know. I mean, there's still stuff I'd like to try. But I don't know. I've experienced a lot, I guess. Rob knows, Fidel knows I'm very thick-skinned because of a lot of stuff that I've gone through.
Right.
Fidel took some Hooter girls home with him. He's got Hooter girls there at the house visiting, and they're walking around in the background.
You right? That's why you got the music and all that?
Right?
There was one girl at Hooters when I was there. Ace came and Steve came up from San Diego. There was one bartender that was really cute, and she actually hooked me up on discounts somehow. I didn't know until I got the check, but she was really cute.
This is Jasmine right here. She wrote up. I'm having Hooters at my house now.
So here's another story about Eric getting raped. So I was talking about it earlier. I always have to throw Eric under the bus. I need somebody to pick on. So,
it ain't going to be me, so don't even try it.
So,
because I'll have one right back at you in a second.
So Eric went to Vegas to some extreme haunt, and he said that. Tell him what happened when you were led into the alley.
Well, first of all, I want to say it was that whole trip to Vegas. Hopefully I learned from it. It was very degenerate behavior. I literally went 4 nights without sleep. I had nothing in my system except hard alcohol. My uncle is a well-known semi-retired doctor. All I did have in those 4 days was, I think, a quarter pounder with cheese, supersized fries, and a large Coke, other than alcohol.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm lucky I didn't get alcohol poisoning. And, especially with the sleep deprivation. I think I got 2. I had a hotel. I just didn't stay there. I think I got maybe 2 hours of sleep at Texas Station. I wanted to stay off the strip, and they have one of the best buffets, or at least they used to, which I didn't even go to. But on the 4th night, with no sleep, I did an extreme haunt. I'm not going to say which one it was, but it was at a movie theater / comic book shop, actually. There's a theater in the back. And they were showing some really crazy, gory horror movie, and they would bring people out of the audience and bring them in the back and have maybe a 5-10 minute experience, kind of like a combined movie showing extreme haunt. But I had done the show many times, the haunt many times, and I knew the owner really well. And I get a phone call from him, and he says, Eric, come meet me out in front. So I go out front, and he tells me to make a right. So I make a right, and I don't see him. So I'm like, where are you, man? Where are you? And he says, walk down the alley. I'll be right there. So I'm walking down the alley, and I was so out of it. I remember seeing pictures of me with goggles on, just drenched in blood. Just my face
what
with
the hell
goggles
goes on in Vegas with you two?
What's that?
Please.
So I just remembered like a couple of things about it. But I walked down the alley. I had a picture of me with these like goggles on, drenched in blood, and like is typical in extreme haunts. Like these 3 or 4 people grab me, and they bring me to the back of the theater, where no one is, and they're all like, "We're not with such and such haunt, we infiltrated the haunt. Why are you here?" And I'm all like, "Well, I got invited by so and so," and they're all like, "We don't like that guy." And I'm like, "Come on, man, this is part of the show." And they're all like, "This isn't part of." I think it was part of the show. I still don't know, but they're like, "We know who you are. We've been watching you. We've been following you. We knew you were going to be here." They throw me up against a wall, and this huge guy gets behind me, grinding on me. And he's all like, "Say Connor." And I'm like, "Connor." And he's like, "Louder." So I'm like, "Connor." And he's like, "Louder." And I'm like, "Connor." I yell it. And he drops my pants. And the 4 of them throw me to the ground. And it went from there.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Wait, what? From where? From what? What, like? That's insane, man.
It was in the industrial area, I want to say, just west of the Rio. There's like an industrial area there.
Yeah. So it's off the strip, probably about 2 miles off the strip going, I want to say west. It's west of the strip.
I don't have no crazy stories like that. There was a girl standing at the end of my bed once. That's about it.
I'm actually supposed to be doing an extreme haunt. I don't know. I don't know how extreme it's going to be. They haven't done many extreme haunts, I don't think. But I got invited. I knew I was going to get invited. It was a lottery thing, but I knew I was going to get picked. I'm supposed to do an extreme haunt in April, and then there's another one. I don't know if I have the money for it right now, but one of my favorite shows is having an extreme haunt, but it's like $175.
Right.
So it's a little steep for a show.
So those of you that don't know what an extreme haunt is, I don't know if you guys have ever gone on YouTube and watched McKamey Manor. Basically, it's you sign a waiver and they will torture you. Basically, they will try to get you to submit. They'll waterboard you. They'll do a lot of different things to try to get you to tap out.
Yeah, it actually says in the waiver that you can die.
So why are we doing this again?
It's an adrenaline rush. When I I'll be honest, when I my friend who Rob knows, I don't think Fidel knows him, Maliki, and rough in the wrestling industry. I was at a SWAT standoff with him, and they launched tear gas grenades, and I'm just standing there like normal, and he's coughing. A press guy near me is coughing, his eyes are watering, and I'm just like, the adrenaline is, it didn't bother me at all. And they're like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm all like, "No, I'm used to it. And I just love adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie." One of the things about my mom also that upsets her, and she's actually talked to Rob about it. I actually went missing once. They actually had an APB on me in Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, and California.
Yeah.
So I'm an adrenaline junkie, and one thing my mom and Rob both don't like is that I don't have a safety filter. Whether it comes, I don't like to be confrontational, but whether it comes to confrontations, urban exploring in foreign countries by myself, or doing the extreme haunts or other stuff, I just don't have a safety filter, but I have been working on it.
So here's the funny thing with that whole episode. When that happened, Eric was missing for 72 hours. You and I were supposed to do something. And
that's when I was in Vegas, actually.
Yeah. So I called your mom looking for you and to see if you stopped by the house. And she said no. So it was maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. She called me and asked if I heard from you. And I said no. And I tried to call your phone and your phone was off. So the next morning she called again. I said, no, I still haven't heard from him. And so, yeah, her and I were in constant contact this whole time. Then she said, I'm calling the police. And I said, yeah, let me know. And so, yeah, you were missing for 72 hours before I think you finally called her and you called me back.
Yeah.
And you lost concept of time. And you were, and you were at a casino. I don't remember where. I think it was Morongo, maybe?
No, it was in Vegas.
Oh, was it in Vegas? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've only done one extreme haunt. Well, a couple of like little demos, but the one that I did, that was with Heretic. Yeah, they picked me up and body slammed me on a desk. And it was they basically almost choked me out too.
I've never heard about this story.
I wouldn't tap out, and so after we exited, the owner of Heretic came and grabbed me, and he goes, "Dude, are you okay?" Because he saw how hard they body slammed me on the desk, and I mean, it did knock the wind out of me because I did fall off the desk, and I was like hunched over, and that's when they tried to choke me out. But now I said, no, I'm good. And but yeah, it was a little crazy. That was my first.
It was fun though, wasn't it? Like in a weird way.
In a weird way. I mean, I was pumped up with adrenaline. I mean, yeah, I was laughing, and I was just like, dude, let's go do that again. Type of deal.
My adrenaline rushes include like just going to the casino or something. Like I'm cool with that.
Anyway, Debbie has a question. Let me find that question. I threw it up there, but we got talking. So, oh my God, Deb, did I lose your question? I threw it up.
I think I saw something that said what something like what constitutes being a demon or something.
Oh, yeah. What our guest's definition of a demon?
You want to take that, Fidel?
All right. Well, demon to me, it can be a fallen angel. It's not really those good old angels with the nice wings and looking pretty and saving you. A demon to me is something really evil, worse than this thing right here that I have in my background. And demons are actually 100% real. I grew up in a Catholic background. There was a time where I'd fallen from faith until, doing investigations for a while. And you start to see people get real terrified of demons. They talk about the 3 scratches or the 3 knocks. I'm not sure why they knock 3 times. Yeah, you have your theories about the Trinity and all that. But to me, a demon, if you have an attachment or any kind of demon, they're real evil. They're real evil. They're a piece of I don't know if I can cuss. If I can cuss, I'll say it. They're a piece of shit. They try to kill, steal, and destroy people. I've seen them kill a lot. I mean, I've seen them even take my dad with cancer and laugh at me every night. Every freaking night after he died, they would just appear in my dreams and start laughing and start reinventing it, start redoing stuff. I've seen like a spirit of cancer. Have you ever seen Thundercats? Shatara? It looked like that. It had a man and woman's voice. So demons to me are just utterly evil, like the top. I mean, they have their ranks, and to me, it doesn't matter. To me, they're all pieces of shits, and they just try to fuck with your life, mess you up, break up your marriage, break your relationship, get you addicted to drugs, make you die, laugh at you. They're just piece of shit. There you go. That's the definition of demon. Piece of shit.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. So if anybody knows about the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, and Hebrew mysticism, demons would fall pretty much on the same tree, except it's inverted. It's called the Klipoth. It's the tree of demons is called the Klipoth, and they have a hierarchy. And actually, on their You know, you have like, you know, Lucifer, Drofracal, and Lilith are pretty much at the top. Lilith, of course, the mother of all demons. And one of the things they will do is if you have an addiction, they will multiply that. They will manifest that. So if you have a gambling addiction or a sex addiction or a drug addiction, and you have a demonic possession or demonic presence, your addiction will be magnified. Also, they could affect your behavior. I've attacked both Rob and Fidel more than one time. I did a crossing at a client's house where there was a demon presence. I was able to cross over the client's mother, but at the same time, I basically fainted and started seizing. And when Rob showed me the video, my face was just red. I had like a snarl on my face. My eyes were dilated. The people outside said that the concrete step had actually shook, which I don't even know how that's physically possible, but it happened. One of the reasons I've taken a break is just because I've had to. I mean, I still do it once in a while, but I'll be honest, and
That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's a fact, but you know, I've stepped away big time from the occult. I still go once in a great while. I haven't gone in several years. When you're doing the urban exploring, you never know what you're going to encounter, so there could be energy from that. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't have nightmares every night. So someone that Rob and I know, who used to say I had this extreme dark malevolent energy around me that's now gone. That energy might be gone, but little residue and, you know, remnants remain. And I literally have nightmares every night. And like, you know, I'm not afraid of stuff that people are typically afraid of, like spiders and, you know, stuff like that. But they play on my primal fears. Like, just like, you know, they know how to make me depressed. Like, oh, I wish I had done this differently in the past. I wish, you know, I didn't do this. I wish I did that. Or, you know, feelings of guilt. Demons don't really manifest stuff like fear of snakes or stuff like that. They manifest your primal fears. Stuff that's more at a kind of like a cross, you know, somewhere that meets between the conscious and the subconscious.
Right. So the episode that Eric is talking about where he fainted and he was convulsing, and yeah, I got that all on video. So that's part of like documenting things. So as well as when Josh and I were investigating the same location, what we called Hotel Garden Grove. That's where, you know, we witnessed a possession, and I have that possession all on video. And I made sure, well, Josh was shooting that video, and so I made sure that the video was still rolling when that whole episode happened. So it was pretty interesting. And I do still have that video. I have the video still of Eric. So I have a lot of this stuff documented. So, but that's just part of being part of an investigator, is because we're trying to put all the pieces together, trying to find all the evidence and documenting as much as we can. So anytime somebody fainted, yeah, I filmed it. People were like, dude, you're sick for doing that. No, it's just part of the documentation that we're trying to gather.
Right.
But we made sure, I mean, the paramedics were almost called when Eric went down. But I just said, somebody go get help. And at that time, there was two of us. I was filming, somebody else was tending to Eric, and we sent somebody else to go get help. and the person, no, there's three of us in there. Then I sent the other person out to just say he's okay, he's coming to. And I was talking to Eric as I was filming him, and making sure he was okay. I helped him up, and he was like, "Man, what just happened?" So we explained to him, and I said, "Dude, you wanted to see the video? I got it." And I think he did watch it after.
Yeah.
So
I was shocked because it was not my face.
no, it was not Eric's face. That's for sure.
That's
Can I
crazy.
answer a question? They're asking
Yeah.
about how to remove a demonic attachment. First of all, you got to go back to where it started. Like, maybe somebody did voodoo on you, black magic. Maybe somebody spoke evil to you, like, I wish you were dead, I hate you, this and that. So a demonic attachment could come from the eyes, and it could come from your ears by hearing certain things or reading certain, like, articles, or just that evilness to it. It's just an energy that relates to your energy. Some people get attachments and it takes forever just to get it off. But you got to go to the point of the pain, wherever your pain is at. Sometimes as a kid, they're abused by their parents and they grow up with that pain. So a demonic will attach to that pain and start growing like a tree. They'll just start capitalizing on that. Just maybe when you're a kid, your parents said, "I don't love you. I hate you. I wish you were dead. I wish you were never born," or your dad was a deadbeat dad. So that demonics attached to that. Sometimes you're not forgiving somebody. You just wish they ask you for forgiveness, and you're like, "No, I don't forgive you. I hate you. Die right in hell." With that, you get demonic attachment. So you got to go meditate, analyze, look at how they can come in. Ask your higher self. You have a higher self that will tell you how they're attached. Remove it, or maybe you have something in your house, something occultic, a gift that was given to you. And I've dealt with people that work in Santeria, Santa Muerte, and they've done all that. I've helped witches with other witches, so it's very spiritual world. So maybe you have a spell on you as well, and you need to start with yourself, cleanse yourself, self-talk and all that. So many different ways. Just wanted to just reflect on that, and everybody has a different opinion, but that's how I've gotten rid of attachments.
So
Yeah, a curse is actually a lot harder to get rid of than something that's based at a location, because someone can do that remotely. And the only way to really get rid of something like that, at least legally, is everybody, and this, I believe it was Jung talked about the superconscious, how everybody is connected through the id or the superconscious. And the only way to get rid of a demonic situation coming from someone else is, we're all attached by a silver cord, and you just have to try to figure out who's putting that curse on you. And in a metaphysical way, you have to literally just imagine, like the sword of St. Michael, or some kind of thing that gives you power, and you literally, in your mind's eye, you have to detach that cord from that person. It's a lot harder than doing something that's based at a location. Like on the episode that Fidel and I were on, it was pretty much based on a location. I think it might have been all based on a location. And Fidel helped me with the cleansing. The way that I did that is I used, your traditional stuff, like the olive oil and the holy water. And, I have a background in different studies. I could invoke demons as well as banish them. And I was basically just, while Fidel was helping me, I was basically saying a few things in Latin while I was doing a cleansing. And that's when the demon decided to hide from the house and jump into the lady's body. So then once she was in the lady's body, we sat her down and I was telling her boyfriend how to deal with her, while Fidel was also helping.
So, just to give a background for Fidel, because he didn't really give a background, nor did I ever ask him, but he was an ordained minister. How long ago was that, Fidel?
Man, that was a long time ago. I
It
would
was a
say when
while.
I was 9 years old, I started off when you do your Holy Communion, your
Right,
confirmation. I was an
right.
altar boy. Um, I got like anointed by, I don't know, you guys know Lupillo Rivera, but he has a brother, Pedro Rivera Jr. in the Mexican
Mm,
culture. So I was actually ordained by him. And he also said, I mean, after he ordained me, he went and had me put hands on a lady on a wheelchair, and she fell off of it, and her tongue started coming out. She started screaming. After that, I started seeing so many different things. Just even hanging out with people, I'll see demonic manifestations in people.
right.
I've helped. I mean, I don't tell many people, but I've helped homeless people. I brought them to sleep in my house, and they start screaming real loud, and I have to do a little. You can call it exorcism, deliverance, call it whatever you want, but I helped.
Right.
And they told me their stories where they seen a guy in a tunnel with a light just calling them over. And I've had my encounters too when different people in my house, like waking up and seeing them staring at me. I seen like scorpions with human heads. But I was a lot very involved in the ministry, very involved. And at a young age, my dad put me through biblical college in Spanish. I didn't really even know Spanish that well, but he had me go to an institute. And I would be there like bored, but then I'll start listening. And then all of a sudden I joined and I had to start writing monografias, like little books about it. And then I got really into like fascinated with casting out demons out of people. And then I just started seeing how they operate. And I mean, you call it what you want. You could call it we're in the Matrix or whatever, but these beings, you could call them jinn, whatever you want to name them. There are beings that try to hurt you, kill you, mess your whole life up.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in contact with them, grab a Ouija board, start playing it. You'll see something. But these
Yeah,
things are real. They're real.
Rob actually, I mean, this wasn't even at night. This was in the morning, bright sunlight, everything. Rob saw, at Hotel Garden Grove, a demon try to kill me. We had banished a demon into a mirror, and I had made a comment. And after I made that comment, I just lost consciousness and I fell. And luckily, I landed in some bark that was like used for planter, I guess. But if it had been 3 inches over, I would have hit the corner of a brick, literally the point of a brick. That would have punctured my skull and possibly killed me.
Wow.
So yeah, he fell into like a garden, which had I don't know, they were just like it was like a garden that had bushes in it, and basically it was pieces of bark in that they just used for covering, and then along that garden there was bricks, and Eric fell into. He was standing because you were smoking and you were leaning against the house, standing on the bark, and then all of a sudden he just went down, and literally he missed it by about
Yeah.
that much, hitting the brick.
Is that the house that you and Josh were at?
Yeah, Josh and I spent, and Eric, we were there for what, 9 months off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was crazy. So I mean, the three of us have investigated a lot. The picture that I used in the in the promo for today's show, it's the three of us standing in front of a house that was never investigated,
That's a
and
sweet picture.
that house was so. There's 3 houses, and they're owned by the Kellogg family.
Like
Well,
cereal?
one of the houses, what's that?
Like Kellogg cereal?
Yeah, like Kellogg cereal.
Seriously?
Seriously.
That family?
That family.
Okay.
So there was a Kellogg house, and then there was another house that was basically they moved it, and it really wasn't restored yet. So we were in the house, and the funny thing, the ironic thing was, I had somebody that was with us take a picture of us standing in front of the house. So our backs were to the house, like us looking up at the window. We were looking up at this freaking window. Now that window comes into play later so we did an investigation where we split up. Some people went to the Kellogg house, and I took a group into that house that we're looking at. It's a purple house. It had all hardwood floors, but they didn't want anybody to go upstairs. So we're investigating the downstairs, and we all heard a woman crying. And I was like, I mean, they took us upstairs, but they said they don't want any guests up there. They said, if you guys hear anything, Rob, Eric, Fidel, and one other person was allowed to go up, but we couldn't let anybody else go up. So I said, I heard a woman crying, but I said, hey, I need somebody to come with me. Just stay on my back. Just in case, because the floors were so unstable. If I fell or something, I wanted somebody there to help me.
Right.
So I ran upstairs, and I'm literally hearing a woman crying. And I'm like, where in the hell is that? So I'm turning the camera, and as I'm panning, I'm watching, with my eyes, I see an apparition. I turn my camera, and she's gone. And that's where the crying was coming from. And I was like, damn it, I missed it. So I was like really pissed off. So later, then the crying just stopped. So we stayed for maybe another 30 minutes to see if we would start hearing it again. It was gone. Nothing ever happened. So we left. And then we switched houses. Somebody went to that house. We went to the Kellogg house. And then we started picking up a lot of things in the Kellogg house. There was a lot of torture that happened in the Kellogg's house. That's all I'm going to say. Not giving a lot of information away, but there was a lot of torture.
Lots of arguing over cereals.
So anyway, so we're wrapping up for the night. And so there was like a meeting room. So everybody went in there. They had like, I don't know, refreshments and food and stuff. So everybody's in there eating. And then the three of us went outside. It was me, Fidel, Eric, and somebody else came out with us. And as we walked outside, we saw the curtains in that house that we're looking up at. The curtains opened up. And we saw a woman standing there looking out over us. And we're like, there's nobody in that house. The doors are locked. We physically saw them lock the doors before we all walked over to get some drinks or something because we were thirsty. And then we went outside and started smoking. And we're all looking up, and we see the curtains open up. And then we see a lady standing there. And then I'm like, grab your camera. Somebody grabbed their camera or grabbed their phone, started to take a picture. And then the curtains just shut and gone. So that was a trip. And I'm like, how funny. I said, and I brought out that picture. How funny how we were looking up in that before we even started this thing. We took a promo picture. And at the end of the night, we see somebody in that window. And I said, how ironic is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. So does anybody have any questions for a guest out there? I know some people were asking questions, but Carl, check out the video I posted. I posted up a picture of McKamey Manor, so if anybody wants to see what an extreme haunt is, here, I'll repost it. I think I still have it copied. Yeah, I'm going to repost it. So on the link that I just posted, that's an extreme haunt. That will give you an idea what an extreme haunt is. And to do that particular haunt, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was in San Diego, the only thing you had to do was bring a bag of dog food, and that was your payment to do the haunt. Eric and I signed up, and I wimped out at the last minute. I think the week before we were supposed to go out, I wimped out.
Well, and then word got out. It actually went viral that I was going to be doing it around the haunt and horror community. It went viral. And then word reached my mom. And
Your poor mother.
my mom had a very, very, very long talk with the owner of that haunt. And it was decided for various reasons that it would not work out for me to do it. I'll just leave it at that.
Well,
Wasn't meant to be.
here was the reason why I backed out, because she called me and told me you are not doing that, and either is Eric. And out of respect for her, Eric's mom is like a mom to me. I mean, we have had many long conversations while Eric was asleep. And so she called me and said, both of you guys aren't doing this. I'm going to call the owner. I knew about the call that was coming. She talked to Eric, told him that the owner would be getting a call, and she did call. Yeah, whatever Vivian says goes. So I said, okay, Vivian, I'm not doing it.
It would have been huge for my publicity. It was just, when Rob and I were going to do it, the internet was going crazy.
Yeah. And people were messaging me, dude, I can't believe you're doing Mckamey. And I said, yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. Eric talked me into it.
The same thing happened to me when I was in Japan, about to do the suicide forest. Rob and a couple of other people were blowing up my phone. Even someone out in, I guess, where is it? Syracuse, I think.
Yeah.
And they were like, do not go to the suicide forest alone, regardless of paranormal activity. You could get lost in there. There's a reason people get lost there. There's a reason people tie ribbons and string to the trees. Regardless of paranormal activity, you could get lost there. Do not go there.
Right.
Especially alone. Because I'm the kind of person that would, you know?
Right.
So, Eric,
What happens?
What's that?
Explain what constitutes an extreme haunt.
Okay, well, an extreme haunt is an immersive theater experience. It's not like your 10-minute maze at Halloween Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm. It's usually anywhere from 30 minutes to could be an hour and a half. It could even be overnight. And what people call it in the haunt industry and extreme haunt owners, they call it an immersive horror experience, because you're basically the protagonist of a scripted or at least lightly scripted story, where usually you will meet up. It's usually not at the greatest place, but you will meet up and they will usually, kidnap you, for lack of a better word, throw you in a car and take you to an unknown
They'll put
location.
a hood over you and kidnap you, throw you in a van, and then take you to the location.
Yeah, and they'll tell you on social media, they'll email you, they'll give you a little synopsis, and they'll tell you, we're monitoring your social media, we're monitoring your phone calls. There's going to be problems, if you tell anybody where you are. Do not tell anybody where you are. When you get in the car, they'll always say, have you told anybody where you are? They do not want anybody to know where you're located. And they'll take you through this experience. You have to sign a waiver that literally says you could be seriously injured or even die. And while they're going through this show, they'll add different elements to try to make you tap out or say the safety word. Some haunts don't even have a safety word.
All right.
And while you're going through this show, it's like a show at the same time where you're the star of the show. They'll do stuff like they'll waterboard you. They'll shock you with tasers.
So have you made it through one of these, Eric?
What's that?
Have you made it through one of these?
Yeah, quite a few times. It's before you go, there's a lot of anxiety, but then it's kind of like, I mean, I guess for me, I don't know for everyone, but it's like you just kind of do it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
There was one where I got psyched out because people were telling me that it was going to be very extreme. So, you know, like more extreme than usual because I knew the person and they had set this up especially for me. And there was one of the things I'm afraid of is the food. They'll serve you like really disgusting food, like 100-year-old eggs or, you know, just really rancid food. That was one of the things that worried me the most. But this one haunt where I tapped out, it was going to be where I had a feeling I was going to be thrown into a body of water with blindfolds on, you know, something I hadn't done since the military. And before that, they had started staple gunning me, you know, like staple gunning like my abdomen and legs with like a staple gun. And I had this thought in my head, this is only going to get more and more extreme.
Right.
So that one I tapped out just because I was psyched out. But I mean, there was one show I did that simulated the LA riots, and they literally used, I believe, tear gas, and they put bulletproof vests on you and actually shot at you.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty intense. Some of them will even figure out your worst fears. So if you have a fear for snakes, if you have a fear for spiders, or mice or something like that, they'll put a cage around your head and drop whatever you're afraid of in that cage and lock it.
And some will even use they will actually inject you with needles. I don't know what the needles are filled with, but they will actually inject you with needles.
That's scary. This is Moxie, guys. This is my new kitty.
Oh.
She just wants to be a part of the show too.
Yeah, supposedly, you know, when you go to these shows, they're all trained. You know, there's trained paramedics on set. I have noticed that. And they, you know, they don't want you to die, obviously, or get seriously hurt, but that does happen, you know. But I have been at shows where they have had paramedics on set, just like when I've done extreme wrestling, you know, the barbed wire and light tube wrestling. You know, you don't always know who they are, but they will have paramedics on location.
Right. Even McKamey had paramedics on location. It's you know, I know a lot of people give Russ McKamey's the owner. Well, he was the owner. Since it's no longer happening anymore, but Russ is like such a nice guy. I mean, he's really cool. But it's pretty sick of what they do. But it was kind of, you know, he didn't make any money off of it. Let's just put it that way. All the money, all the proceeds went to, you know, he was helping out animal shelters, get food for donation, and that's what he was doing. He was giving back to the community.
Yeah, for the Greyhound rescue.
Yeah. So I mean, it was he had a good thing going. You know, too bad that, you know, there was a lot of people that all the negative publicity came with it, but he was doing a good thing.
And I think, you know, I mean, there's some people that think that, you know, that kind of stuff isn't good for me, but then there's, you know, it's like immersion therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy. You know, some extent of fear is actually healthy. You know, it's like with cognitive behavioral therapy, if you're afraid of heights, you know, a therapist might tell you to cross a bridge.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So I know, you know, like with what Eric said earlier, I mean, he's dealt with he's done a lot of dark things. You know, the first time that you know, because I would give him a hard time. I'd bust his balls all the time about going to Black Mass, going to OTO, anything to do with Satanism. I was always telling him, dude, you need to stay away from that. then one day he said, Rob, I'm taking you to a Black Mass. So we went to Black Mass, and it was like one of the most incredible things I've ever witnessed. I mean, to be honest. And all the people that I met there were like the most down-to-earth people, the nicest people you ever meet. I met so many people there. You know, it was just so much fun. And, you know, then we went back. We went back a few times. And funny thing is my son knew one of the DJs, and actually he was part owner of that, of one of the host places that they were hosting, and he was actually helping out put on the shows. So it's just funny how small of a world it is. That knowing that he lived in the same town that we did, and we were going to LA for these events. But you know, like I said, I've met some of the nicest people, and they're like the most down-to-earth people you ever meet. Just because, you know, when you hear about Satanism, you know, then you learn the background behind it and the reason why behind a Black Mass and everything. It's really interesting.
Rob, do you see the comments?
Yeah, I see it. I got it.
Okay. Man, I feel like we haven't had a troll in like a while.
Yeah.
What's going on with this OnlyFans thing I keep seeing popping up? I'm like, have you seen my OnlyFans?
What's that?
There's Fluffaluffagus at.
Oh, my whole chat just went away.
Yeah, I seen some people trolling right now.
I'm on my
did
cell
live
phone, so I
stream,
can't see the comments.
No, it's all right. I got it. Oh, where did Lindsay go? Oh, here she is.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, but I got it. So does anybody have any other questions?
Well, I want to invite everybody to my Instagram page, paranormal.connections.
Yeah, if you guys have
Yeah.
anything that you guys want to promote,
Yeah, paranormal.connections. I'll show it right here real quick. Just
no, here I'll you
got
can't
it?
see. No,
All right.
let me type in a comment. Hold on.
Okay.
And mine is Golden State Haunts.
Hold on one second. Here, type it up in the chat. Do you see the private chat?
Yeah.
I can't do it on my end.
Eric, do you want to tell everybody again where they can find your guys' new show at too?
Yeah, it's on Vice TV or the Vice TV website. And I also do a show called Creepy AF where we do haunt walkthroughs. I do improv with, the scare actors. I interview celebrities or vendors at horror Halloween conventions. And then we also do a show called Creepy AF Paranormal.
And those are all on YouTube.
And my Instagram is Golden State Haunts. That's golden_state_haunts. And I cover everything from urbex to stuff for Insomniac, EDM festivals, sometimes police and fire activity, and celebrity events as well.
Yeah. I don't have an
Interesting.
OnlyFans. Every time it does that, my chat goes away.
Really?
Yes.
I just got rid of it. I just reported them, deleted it. Sorry. Stupid trolls. Yeah, I got them. Thanks everybody for giving us heads up.
I can't see the chat anymore.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
I'm blocking again.
That's why I left the first time to get to be able to see the chat, but now it won't let me.
I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. That's all right.
I haven't been able to see it. I'm on my cell phone. It doesn't show
Yeah,
up.
I lost the chat already after those trolls. And
Oh, here it is. Now I can see it.
Found it.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, so we're going to end the show here. So what we're going to do is Friday night. Don't forget to join if you guys want to join in on the group session. The Zoom.
Yeah, we're doing group Zoom.
It's going to be a group Zoom. If you guys want to get involved in that, let me share that with you. Send me a message. I just posted up my Gmail account, so send us a message there.
That'll be fun.
So,
Excited
so
for
we
that.
can, so we can do a group Zoom meeting. That will be a lot of fun. Boy, I'm blocking this person like crazy.
Yeah, what the heck is going on? Yeah, they're targeting my name. I don't know why.
I can't see anything anymore.
Weird.
And we have to do like that on Monday.
Yeah, so no, it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for I just posted it up, Kanga. It's up on the screen. So you just send me an email and I'll send you the invite. So you guys have to be on the invite to get on. So if you guys want to get on, it's message the Parawakening.
Oh my gosh, there's another one. Jeez. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, make sure you guys email so you guys can get on, and then Rob will send you the link. It'll be fun.
So yeah, just make sure, like I said, send me an email. I know I can't iterate this enough, but send me an email. That way I will get everybody that's on the email list will get an invite. Hold on, got to block another one.
That's so weird.
Yep. But anyway, well, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on Friday night. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, thank you.
Bye, Eric.
Bye, you guys.
All right, see you guys later.
Inviting us.
All right, no problem. See you guys.